There was one recently, a friend of mine that I help her out, and there was a group of people that kept extending their stay. And she had just put hers on the market. She had lowered the price to get more renters, which we can talk about later as not a great idea. But anyway, she had lowered the price. You have to keep it in a certain price range or else you end up with this situation. But anyways, she was trying to get reviews and that kind of thing, because you have to get to be a super host, and that's super helpful for when people search for you online. But they kept renting, they kept extending, and then she could tell that they were coming in at odd hours of the night. The lock, she could tell it was at 3 a.m. and at 4 a.m. and whatever, all these different nights. And so we were getting a little nervous, like, what's happening?
Oh, man.
And so the day they were supposed to check out, they would not check out. So she went, and then I came, and there was a giant dog, and this giant dog had been there 8 days and had slept in the beds and had run around and had peed on the carpets and broken things. And it was a group of young people that had rented this place for them. They were coming in for a convention. And so a college professor had rented this for them, so he wasn't even staying there. And it ended up that he didn't even know what was going on. And there were a bunch of people there, and just things dripping off the countertops. And we just stood there and looked at each other, and we're like, wow, this is wild. So it took us quite a long time. We probably doubled our time that day. And she stayed with me for part of it just so we could assess the damage. And that happens sometimes where you're assessing the damage. But we had to throw out bedding and towels and assess if we could get stuff out of the rugs and that kind of stuff. But then I've also had experiences where I've been told only one person stayed. It should be a really quick turnaround. And I get there and there have been 12 people.
Wow.
And they in every single area you can possibly imagine, and used every sheet and used every towel, and people are sleeping on the couches and the floors, and they've broken things or whatever. You just don't know. And that's not the norm.